Welcome back to another logging video here. Today we're on a new map. The new FDR map came out today. Um, he came out with a couple of different mods too, just different pieces of equipment. Nothing new, like I guess there's one thing that's kind of new, and I'm gonna try logging here with it. I was gonna get a little set up here first, but I figured I might as well just start recording me setting up, getting ready to start a new operation here. This is the really new mod that came out, the six-wheeled Tigercat skidder. I saw this, and it was a combination of seeing this skidder and then seeing this new part of the new map that he had, and all I could think of was a old TV show that used to be on that my dad used to watch occasionally. I don't remember much about it, but the show is called Swamp Loggers, and all I remember is the six-wheeled skidders like that. So it made me want to do this as a new little adventure, a new video series here. I'm glad that there are some people that like my my videos. I've got quite a few comments of people saying that they like the actually non-sped up videos better than the time-lapse ones. I can see I can see it both ways. I can see that people like the time-lapse videos because I enjoy watching them. I just try to make videos so that I would watch myself, and that's what I feel like it's 50-50. Sometimes it's good to watch the time-lapse videos, and other times it's nice to watch somebody actually kind of doing a let's play, even though I'm not very good at doing a let's play. I don't think I don't think there's many people online that do it. I must have hit a tree back there with that super. This tree here was a big one. Must have hit something back there. I'm trying to get an area here cleared out so that I can, when I start working my way into the swamp, I can use a skidder and drag the logs up here and drop them, and then I can process them from right here, and then have an area to actually load them. I was having trouble on my hillside map. I still haven't quite got it straightened out as to making a good place to process or skid the trees too, and then get them processing. One thing I did get straightened out though, the past, I don't know, several videos I've made, I just nonstop complain about the jitters, and I think I finally figured it out. And who knows, maybe this new FDR update, it'll start causing me problems again. But you can see I have my FPS counter up. That's the wrong button. 60 frames per second. I'm gonna make a separate video describing what's going on, but essentially I was getting 90 frames a second, and quite a few people were commenting, telling me that the video settings were too high and whatever, which I knew that you need to have lower video settings to get the game to run right, but what I did was I just I capped the frame rate at 60 rather than just letting it go full tilt and trying to get as many frames per second, because it's almost like the FPS limiter is an FPS target in this game. That's the best I can figure. I won't ramble on too long about the frames per second because I feel like it's something I've talked about in depth a lot, complaining about. But it seems to have fixed it, and like I said, I'm going to make a video at least. Maybe some people will see it who've also had trouble with it, and it'll help them. This new shaking here, I believe that's because of the way FDR has modified the log physics. and there's nothing I can do about that. I don't know what's going on here. This is not the first time that I've just about tipped the machine over. I'm just gonna get out here and look to see what I'm hitting. I guess it's these trees here, maybe. Wow, somehow I wedged it right between them. Been a couple times here where I've gone to dump logs in my pile and just about flipped the machine over. Actually, got a huge pile there already. I'm gonna have to start cutting those up pretty soon here, I think. Hoping I could get into the swamp in this video. Maybe I'll have to wait till the next one. Who knows? See how far we get. I'm gonna keep playing here, but essentially I gotta get all these stumps ground up here and make myself a path to get down here, because it's not a place you want to be processing trees down in the swamp there. This is a pretty open looking canal right here. I can drop a few trees in this area. That'll be my first pile to drag up, even though it's only a short drag. Be fast. It'll help out with being able to get this cleared out a little faster. I'm excited to try that new skidder. He said the video I watched, he said the new grapple is a lot bigger. Not that the other one was small, but I like to do things that are unrealistic for some reason. I like to play the game like it's realistic, but then do things that are just as unrealistic as possible. Before FS25 came out, when I was playing Farming Simulator 22, literally the only thing that I would do, because one, I didn't have joysticks, and two, I didn't have my controls set up right. I would just buy the base game logging equipment, a harvester and a four-wooder, load it on the same flatbed trailer, like trig it on there the best I could, and haul it to a spot, and that was pretty much it. I never actually did any logging because it was so difficult with the base game controls. It wasn't even fun. When this game came out, I don't know what gave me... thought that was a little far away for that tree. I don't know what gave me the idea, but I was looking at the control scheme, and I saw there was an option for... I don't know if I had two controllers plugged into my computer or what, or something. It just dawned on me, and I said, I wonder if I can plug two controllers in at the same time and remap one of the controllers, because that's something I always talked about when I played on Xbox. That there should be an option to, when you get in a piece of equipment, have a different control scheme or something. Like each piece of equipment could have a completely different control scheme. Driving around in the water, it makes a funny sound. So anyway, I was hoping for a different control scheme, and I was sitting there one night and it just dawned on me that I could maybe connect two controllers and remap one of them. And it worked. And ever since then, I've been pretty well hooked on the logging part of Farming Simulator. This is going to be interesting when I get out here, because it's not any... it's not like a clear road here. Now, in the show Swamp Loggers, I don't think they were actually going out into a swamp like this and logging. I think it was just wherever they were, it was always wet and rainy and made swamp-like conditions everywhere you drove. Kind of like anywhere else in the world where where it's wet. You drive out and it's onto dirt that's wet and turns into mud. I think that's all it was, but nonetheless, this is our swamp here. This is our muddy swamp. We're gonna try out that 6-wheeled skidder. I really wish I had another person here that I could get to start processing the trees or something. I mean, I like to do it all. I just feel like you can make a lot of progress with 2 people really quickly. 2 or 3 people, I should say. I was trying to shut the machine off. I haven't changed my settings on this map to automatic, or not automatically shut it off, but that's what they're on right now. But to leave the machines on when you get out. I wish there was a different sound file. That's one thing I do kind of wish here is there's a different sound file for this machine, because it's exactly the same as the Caterpillar one, I think. See, I'm just messing around here because I haven't used this here yet. I never really played Farming Simulator 22 that much, like I was saying, and I never played with the FDR logging mods. This is the first game I've played with them on. It almost makes me want to re-download Farm Sim 22 and play around with it, because I think he had a lot of stuff going on in that game. See if I can get it around. There we go. That's a lot of trees right there. Some of them are going to slide out, I bet, those ones on the top. Maybe not, though, because I know he changed the log physics. Yeah. I figured they were going to fall out. We'll just have to go back to them. I mean, that's a pretty big stack of logs there. Now, one thing that I was trying to do before I fixed my frame rate issue was I was always trying to create the biggest stack of logs I possibly could. Now, the game doesn't really allow for that, because as soon as your frame rate dips down, the logs start going ballistic. And I don't know if, since I have my settings tuned a little bit better now, if I can create a huge stack of logs. We're gonna find out here, though. I was on the fence. I'm not sure if I want to cut long ones or short ones here first. I think I'm gonna go with the short ones, because the last few videos I was doing long logs, and that's the only deciding factor. But that I was doing long ones in the previous videos. Short ones, it gives me more logs to load. Loading a trailer with the long logs, it goes pretty quick. I might want to actually, if I'm cutting any logs here, I might want to actually haul these up a little farther with the skidder. For now, I'm going to leave them right here. I'll stack the I'll stack the logs in this area here, but ideally they'd be a little bit more up on the landing there. This processor ahead is a new mod, part of the new FDR mods. It's got a lot. Looks like it's got a lot more detail than his previous processor heads. Let's see what. Yeah, I figured it was probably set to 4 meters. That's what they're always, when you start a new map, that's what they're, or buy a new processor, that's what they're always set to, is 4 meters. I always struggle with where to put the tops. When you watch, I hate to keep going back to FDR as an example, but really it's the only reference point I have, because I don't watch many logging farming simulator YouTubers, because I really don't see many online at all. If somebody knows of a good one for me to watch, maybe comment it down below. But he always does this thing where he runs a tree through, when you get the top, he runs it through a little bit and then drops it. Actually gonna oops, run this back here and cut this this weird little part here off. There we go. I'll see if I can get a better example of what I'm talking about with the tops when I cut through this tree here. See, if I had another person here, they could be parked right on the other side of this log pile, and as I'm processing, they could be stacking the logs on the landing here. So when he's got the top there, releases it from the processor function and then shoots it off like that, but it never works out good for me. A huge pile here. Can't believe how quickly it stacks up. Doesn't help I'm trying to move the logs a mile over here and keep them straight. That's one thing I struggle with also, is getting the logs nice and straight here. See, I wanted to turn the processor this way. Come on, log. Straighten out. See, that worked. That worked about as fast as anything there. Just processing it the rest of the way. Maybe I should buy another one of these log loader machines and park it over there. Then I don't have to keep switching. I don't have to move spots, and I can stop halfway through here and straighten out my pile, clean it up. That was a bad drop right there. I was actually planning on switching over and doing some uh, more cut to length options with the harvester and a forwarder, but then this map came out and I couldn't resist. I had to try it out. I wanted a chance to use a new Tigercat skidder, even though I only used it for one pull here. We're getting close to halfway on this pile, processing it. Once we get this processed here, though, we're going to be needing the skidder to haul all the trees out. Yeah, I can definitely tell the logs are sticking a little bit more than they were before, but doesn't really bother me too much. I'd rather them stick like that than slide down the hill. I see some videos on YouTube of a forwarder and a harvester on a steep hill, and that's something else I want to try. Check to see what my frames here are. Oh, it's still 60. Still locked on 60. I'll probably leave that up the rest of the video just because I keep wondering. And then we'll know once we get a big pile here if it's... and they start going everywhere, if it's because of a low frame rate or if it's because the game is just a bad engine. Seeing the good reaction to my last few videos makes me want to start posting more videos, but unfortunately I just don't think it's realistic for me to consistently do it. If I just keep doing what I'm doing, I can stay consistent. 3 videos a week and possibly 4. Generally I've been uploading Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then depending on what I got going on Saturday, if I have time to get a couple extra videos done, I upload one on Sunday. That's kind of, we got one log here that's causing us a problem. Well, didn't do what I want, but we got it kind of where we want. Pretty good pile of logs there. I'm gonna well, nah, we'll keep going like this. Oh. When the game first came out, I was playing on a couple different maps, and the anytime you would cut a tree down, the tops would get stuck on the ground, and I'm really glad that problem seems to have gone away. Was not a very fun thing to happen. I'm really liking the way that these are stacking up, though. It's something that I really haven't had much luck with before. I'm gonna actually gonna move this pile, like I was saying. I'm not sure what the proper way to accomplish what I want to do here is, other than the fact that I don't have the proper equipment. Um, you'll see when I start moving these logs around here what I actually am talking about. I'd like to have these logs stacked up on the side of my little mud road here. And then you could have a log truck pull in and kind of load them from the side, or you could park the log loader right here and swing back and forth. I don't know why I'm getting a couple little lag spikes there. I don't know what's causing that. Oops. That was a mistake. Anyway, I'd like to have the whole side of this little landing road here lined with logs, and just keep stacking them up. The game, unfortunately, doesn't really like that. Oops. I like to have this this grapple here. It's got the extra arm on the side. It's really meant for longer logs to stabilize them. But it's nice when you get into situations like that where you got some small logs right at the top of your grab and they're sliding around. You can pinch them down with that arm there, and they don't go flying all over the place. Kind of like if say this log here was sliding out, which is not because I got one log here, but say it was sliding like that, you could pinch it down and it would stay. Obviously this one's not staying because it's not close enough there. Several reasons not doing it, but you can get the idea of what I'm trying to describe. Maybe for the next video I'll have another machine. Come on, that was so... It shouldn't be this hard to get a log where I want it. It was right there. All I had to do is just push it over just a little bit. Go. Yeah. I gotta get the rest of these processed, and somehow I'll figure out how I want to get the logs to end up like this. I could always... What I could do, probably the smarter thing is to kind of change the way this is. This mud is here, and I'll just paint kind of like a loop in, and that way there I can pull the log truck. See here, I'll just see if I can walk it out and describe it. I can pull the log truck in like this, come up on the side, and then have a big stack of logs here. That's an option too. We'll see how I decide I do it. Time will tell. But that's as far as we're gonna go for this episode. I want to keep them around 30 minutes long, and next episode will be definitely into the swamp, and we'll get a little more skidder use in. I was on the fence about getting started because I wanted to have the option to use a skidder, and I knew that right off the bat there was going to be no skidder work involved. I'm glad I got the one little drag with it. But because it's new, it's pretty cool. So we're going to call that there. Thanks for watching.